Welcome to gardening video number 5, Where to Put Your Garden, part 2, Topography and Water Flow. As far as topography goes, it's quite simple when choosing a garden spot. You're trying to look for as level ground as possible. In this instance, you have level ground here, and when it rains or when you water the garden, the water will soak down into the ground and it'll soak directly underneath your plants and stay there for a lot longer. That's what you want to try to find. Try to find somewhere level where that happens with the water flow. If you have slope ground like this and you water your garden or it rains, you'll notice that some of this water will go in, but also some of the water will travel down the slope. So you tend to get uneven growth of your plants, and that water also will take some of the soil with it. So you can see this erosion even in a raised bed that's maybe 2 inches lower on one end, and I can show you that in a future video. So let's revisit a couple spots in my property and we'll expand on this idea a bit. Here we are again at the eastern spot of my property, and we have this nice flat spot that we could put a garden on. But when you're studying topography, you can't just look at the area, the exact area where you're going to put your garden. You have to look at the surrounding areas as well. And as you can see from way up here, this entire hill drains water down to this area. So this actually becomes a very soggy spot for a good part of the year actually. And take this tripod and pan a little bit, you'll see that the hills are there, hills are here, and the hills over there from the neighbors. It all drains down to this spot. And to the east, you can see this big 180-acre cornfield. That drains all the way down here as well. So although this spot is flat, it's not the best spot because it does, like I said, it gets flooded a lot down here. Now, where you live might not be as extreme as this, but for a lot of people that have walk-out basement doors, you'll notice that the front of the yard is level with the top of the basement, and then the sides slope down to the back. So if you were to put a garden back there in the back of your yard, you might get some flooding, especially with the downspout water. So again, with topography, you can't just concentrate on the exact area where you want to put your garden on a flat space. You have to consider the area around it as well. Here we are again at the spot where I had my old garden that I tore up here on the north side of my property. You can see here, this slope here is a pretty significant slope. And just to get this shot right now with my tripod, I had to shorten one of the legs 4 inches just to get the shot level. So when I had my raised beds here, it was always an issue when I watered or when it rained. The soil in the raised beds would accumulate toward the north side, and then I would have erosion from underneath the boxes. Soil was always going out of there, and I constantly had to pile up rocks and soil on the outside just to stop that from happening. So it was a big pain in the butt, and it was a big waste of time that I could have been at my other garden spots taking care of those plants. So if at all possible, try to avoid an area that has a slope like this one, and you'll have a lot better results and be a lot less frustrated. In summary, find the flattest spot you can for your garden and be mindful of any slopes nearby. And in the next video, we'll talk about zones. Thanks for watching.